one of the critical things at this stage is, again, not to take it personally, just to recognize my child's going to say no. It's in some ways, it's their way of throwing a temper tantrum. If you're in the store and they're throwing that temper tantrum, usually it's their body's way of saying, I'm exhausted, I'm worn out, I'm tired. And so I don't want to fall asleep, they might say. I don't want to go to bed. And yet they're so exhausted, they're fighting their own body's way to say, you need to check out. Now, you might think as a parent or grandparent, which I am the grandparent here, oh, but it's got to be perfect. No, it's allowed to say, I don't want to be. And in the future, when she's 20 and getting married or has her own children, she too will understand it's okay. See, more often than not, it's us trying to fit our perception into their world and make them do the things that we want them to do. The beautiful part of their development is saying, "Oh, it's okay right now. In this situation, is it life or death? If she doesn't happy or doesn't want to be in the photo, no, it's not. I can try to force a child. Usually what happens is I get more and more resistance. Instead, I go with them. And later on, interestingly enough, initially in our family picture, she didn't want to be in it. Later on, she's got a nice picture with her parents because it was a different time frame. If we force our children, we're going to eventually get resistance from them. So we sometimes have to adapt because our will is not always going to be what's done. I bring this up because at this age, the more we fight, we might get more resistance, not just now, but down the road because they're feeling like they don't have a voice. Helping them come to conclusions. As an example, one of the things that I did recently is I took my granddaughter and I showed her a picture because she now says she's not 4, but she says, I don't like taking pictures. That's her experience. So I took her and showed her last year's picture. I said, you look at this picture. This was last year. And then I showed her the picture of what this year is going to be like. I said, this is this year's picture, just so she could see. Right, wrong doesn't matter. For her, she didn't want to. And there's certain things that I'm not going to ever force upon a child at this age. Instead, I'm going to help them understand. We're going to teach them emotions. And as they have emotions and they experience life, they're forming their own voice. And I want my children and grandchildren to have voice because that helps them form their identity. Who am I? That's really what they're saying here. Who am I? Where do I fit? And that, as a parent, is really an important stage. You're trying to help them form that self-awareness, that stronger sense of self. And many parents may be saying, but won't they be defiant? Actually, quite the opposite. They'll have a voice and they'll be strong.